folks, I'm going to show you a video today that's a little out of my norm. I'm not known as a gem setter. I'm trying to get into that field, and I've been building some settings because I want to do wedding rings and things like that, and I have a lot of call for all that. And I took on a job from a friend of mine that couldn't spend a lot of money on it, and she had a 9-sided emerald. I think they call it a nonagon or something like that. Anyway, she took it all over a local town that's more than 100,000 people, and not one custom jeweler in that town would attempt to build a setting for it. And they were going to send it off up north somewhere to get a setting made for it, and it was going to be a huge price for it. And I told her I didn't think I could do it. Anyway, I sat on it for 2 or 3 months, and then I thought, you know what, I've set a few gems. I want to take on the toughest thing I can take on to get into this gem setting, and I told her I would attempt it. So I did, and it's been a real chore, and that's what I'm going to take you through step by step today. My methods of gem setting are probably not nowhere near right. I've just learned from what I've seen here on YouTube and other places, and what people's told me, and I got the right appropriate tools to do it. And so I'm just going to let you follow along in my step-by-step methods, and me finally getting this done. I did get it done, and she's very happy with it. And first of all, I want to say that because of cost, and we didn't know if we could even get this done, the setting is sterling silver, but the prongs are nickel silver. Nickel silver is about real close to the hardness of white gold, and she really couldn't afford the white gold or any type of gold in this, so we went with the nickel silver prongs, and I had to make those prongs and everything. So it's kind of interesting to follow along with this, and I hope the video turns out good. But the setting did turn out real nice, and she likes it, and I'll show you a picture of it at the end of the video. Also in the description, I'll put some of the things that I used in this process. But hey, if you're a professional jeweler out there, please don't criticize me. I'm just learning on this. See y'all later. Okay, to begin with, here's the 9-sided drawing I came up with to fit the shape of the gem. You can see it's got 9 flat sides, and it's an odd shape setting. And I'm going to cut this out of a 16 gauge. Here's the gem here. It's an emerald, and they somehow cut it that way. I take a slug of sterling silver, and I'm going to mill this out to a 3/4 inch wide strip and about 16 gauge thickness through my rolling mill. And as you roll this stuff, you have to anneal it to keep it soft. But anyway, there's the result of it being rolled out. Now I glued the drawing onto the end of it, and I'm going to cut the center out of it first, because the center has to be hollow for the gem to set down in, and that will be where the gem will sit. Now I'm going to have to bevel the top edge, because you know the gem has beveled edges or slanted edges, so I have to bevel that top edge so it can sit down in there. And I'm checking it here periodically. The filing was going a little slow, so I switched over to a cross-cut burr, and I'm just kind of going along the sides, beveling that off. There you go. I got it sitting down in there the way I want it. So next I cut it out, and this is it here. and that will be the top tier of this setting. We're going to have two tiers, one on top and one on bottom, and then the prongs will come up through both of them. Now this is the bottom tier. It's basically the same drawing as the top, and I cut out the center of it because, like I say, you want the light coming up through it, and the gem sets down in that top one and protrudes down towards this one. And I cut the center out. Then I'm going to leave it attached to this long piece to be able to handle it easier. I'm just going to cut the top off of it along the lines. Later I'll cut off the bottom part, but it makes for a good handle in working with this. Now what I'm doing is I'm drilling 4 holes about midpoint of this bottom tier, and the drill bit I'm using is the same size as what the wire prongs, the round wire prongs that I'm going to be putting in them. And there's the 4 holes. I'm going to use 4 prongs on this setting. The way it's shaped, that's all I need. I take a piece of 16 gauge nickel silver and I scribe a strip 0.1 inch wide by about 3.5 inches long, and this is going to become the prongs. I anneal it, and then I'm going to quench it, and like I say, this is nickel silver, and nickel silver has about the same hardness, like I say, as white gold. So now what I'm doing is running that strip through and making a square wire out of it. And the square wire is going to be, of course, bigger than what I'm going to pull through the draw plate. Now I'm rounding off one end of it to stick through the draw plate. And I'm going to pull it through the draw plate several times and keep getting a little bit smaller and smaller until I have a 0.060 wire. Okay, now I'm going to cut off 4 pieces of this round wire about 5/8 inch long. That's going to become the prongs. And I just saw them. And then I have to buff the ends of them to make sure there's no burrs on them, because they're going to have to go through my plate. And that's what I'm doing here. And next I stick them into the holes on that bottom setting plate. And what I'll do from here is I will use some firescoff, and I'll heat it up to about 400 degrees, and then I'll spray that firescoff on it, and then I'm going to solder these in with 75% silver solder, because I don't want these coming loose. This is the first soldering with the setting. This firescoff, you heat the piece up, like I say, and then you spray it on when it's about 400 degrees. Next, I'm going through the soldering process here, just adding a little drop of soldering around the bottom of each prong, and that fixes it to the bottom tier. And then I'm just taking a blue point silicone wheel, and I'm going around these prongs, kind of polishing them in between the prongs, getting any solder off that I might have had run out. Now what I'm doing is I've got the top setting that I beveled, and I marked marks on it to where I need to notch it to go down through these prongs. I'm taking a cross-cut burr, and I'm notching the sides of it. This cross-cut burr makes easy work of notching the sides of that setting. Now I take a round file, and I just kind of finish those notches out to where they're just about right. I keep checking it on the prongs to make sure that the notches are the right width. Now here you see I've got the top tier of the setting down in the prongs, and it's kind of locked in there by the way it's wedged in there. And I take the gem, and I'm going to set it down through there and just see how everything fits. looks like it's going to set good. And so I get back over to the solder table, solder that top tier on to the prongs with 70% silver solder. And now what I did is I cut a piece of 18 gauge silver and I soldered a bell to it. Then I cut that piece out to fit the top space on the setting, and that's so I have a place for the chain to go through. And I'm going to solder this in place, and this will be the last bit of soldering on this setting. And so I'm going to use 65% and firescoff on it, and I just try to make sure that it's sitting straight up and in line with the setting. And you want to be careful with your heat so you don't overheat your prongs or anything and melt anything. Okay, after I get that done, I'm going to cut that excess part off the top, and I marked the line to where it needs to be, and I just cut across the top, and it basically matches the bottom basically matches the top tier. Now I just kind of go over it with a silicone wheel, and they're little spiral wheels, and I go from blue, pink, tan, and then green. Okay, there we got it polished up, and we're ready to go to the next step. I use a crosscut burr and notch the prongs, and I got a drawing coming up in the next scene to show you how I'm doing this exactly to prepare them for bending. Okay, this is the drawing here, and shows how I notch the prongs. And now I set it on my vise with some hot glue and masking tape, and I put the gem down in it carefully, and I use a special prong plier that has a notch in one side, and I put the pliers across and bend the prongs in. And here it is with the prongs bent all the way in. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these prongs because I need to cut them off a little bit with my scroll saw. They're a little too long, which I didn't want to come up short, so you need to leave them a little long so you can get a hold of them with your pliers. And I just carefully cut it kind of at a slant, and then I file the prongs with a cut 8 safe file to where it don't scratch the stone. It has smooth sides, and I just carefully shape them. And here it is, all shaped up, and I'm going to give it a final polish. I've got the prongs the way I want them, the gem secure, and this is the way it looks. Thanks for watching.